Welcome to the journey of discovering walnuts, one of the world's most nutritious and valuable nuts. Walnuts don't just appear overnight. It all starts with the planting of young trees in carefully controlled nurseries. Farmers make sure everything, from temperature to nutrients and humidity, is just right for these young trees. Once the young trees are strong enough, it's time to transplant them into the field. Today, we'll learn everything from soil preparation, care, harvesting, to the processing and packaging of walnuts. The first thing we will do is improve the soil. Walnut trees are suitable for planting in places with large, well-drained, nutrient-rich soil and a pH of 6.0 to 7.5. Farmers often add organic fertilizer to improve soil quality, providing adequate nutrients for the tree throughout its growth. Farmers prepare the land using machinery to dig holes. Then they plant each young tree carefully, ensuring that each tree has enough support needed to grow. Walnut trees are difficult trees. The tree grows well in soil with high humus content, loose, with a thick cultivation layer of over 50 centimeters and neutral pH. It is necessary to dig holes measuring 50 x 50 x 50 centimeters. The holes are dug in staggered rows and covered around the tree trunk. Branching is the process of ensuring that the walnut tree grows healthy and well-developed branches. It is necessary to ensure that the cuttings are kept suitable. The cuttings are protected by using wire to fix them to avoid adverse factors, such as pests from nature. Caring for walnut trees requires patience and meticulousness. Each step must be performed according to the correct process. Of course, water is essential for any crop, and with thousands of walnut trees to care for, farmers rely on efficient irrigation systems, which require regular watering, especially during the dry season. But avoid overwatering, as walnut trees do not like standing water. As these walnut trees grow, pruning is an important part of tree care. Farmers need to prune them regularly to allow more light, airflow, often remove weak, diseased branches so that the tree can focus its nutrients on growing healthy branches, and most importantly, producing nuts. The real fun begins. Walnut harvesting takes place in the fall, when the outer shell of the fruit cracks and the nut inside turns brown. Farmers often use vibrating machines to harvest the nuts from large trees. These giant machines clamp tightly onto the trunk and shake the tree violently, causing the walnuts to fall like a crisp waterfall. Squirrels also enjoy the fun with the farmers and bring back to their nests nutritious walnut gifts. As the walnuts are shaken to the ground, specialized machines get to work collecting them neatly, sorting them and cleaning up the harvesting area. They make sure the nuts are ready by testing samples. When the green outer shell begins to dry and separate from the inner shell, they know it's time. After all the harvesting work is completed, the next step is to take the freshly harvested walnuts to the factory to sort out the nuts and impurities. The nuts will be shelled to check the quality. The walnuts are washed and the outer shell removed. The nuts are then dried to preserve longer and enhance the flavor. The drying process usually takes 2 to 3 weeks, depending on weather conditions. After drying, the walnuts are quality checked before being sent to the next stage of processing. The walnuts will be washed to remove dirt, bacteria, and other impurities. This process may involve soaking and rinsing several times with the use of clean water. The walnuts are brought to the processing facility, where they are sorted, shelled, and dried to perfection. The first step is to remove the green outer shell, leaving the familiar hard shell. The shelling process is usually done by machine with equipment that quickly peels the shell without damaging the nut inside. After the machine line completes its work, it is time for the workers to process the walnuts. The broken or unqualified nuts will be discarded or transferred to other products, such as walnut powder. Walnuts that have passed all tests. For long-term storage, walnuts need to be dried to reduce the moisture content inside. Drying can be done in natural air or in industrial dryers. The goal is to bring the moisture content of the walnuts down to a safe level, around 8 to 10%, to avoid mold and preserve them longer. After drying, the walnuts are split open to remove the hard outer shells and the kernels inside. This is a delicate process that requires careful handling to ensure that the nuts are not broken or damaged during the shelling process. Shelling machines are often carefully calibrated to achieve this. The sorted walnut kernels can be further processed to produce products such as roasted walnuts, seasoned walnuts, or ground into flour. Processing typically involves roasting, seasoning, or pressing for oil. I have introduced to you all the processes to produce walnuts, bringing to customers the most nutritious and best quality walnuts. This process ensures that the walnuts retain their natural flavor, crunchiness, and nutritional value while meeting international food safety standards. After processing, walnuts are packaged in sealed containers for storage. The packaging should be designed to protect the product from light, air, and moisture in order to maintain the quality of the nuts during storage. From the efforts of farmers to the elaborate processing, walnuts are ready for you. Enjoy the wonderful health benefits that this nut brings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to discover more interesting things about the agricultural world. Thank you, and see you again.